After half a decade, multiple delays, and a massive build-up to release, Sons of the Forest is finally here. And it's pretty good. Between the astonishing graphics, fun new base building system, and Virginia, this game has a lot going for it. The world is extremely immersive, pulling you in by creating a sense of activeness in life. Everywhere you go, there's wildlife roaming, cannibals gathered in their camps, mutants scurrying around.
Stop hiding in the bushes and face me, you coward!
All of this combines to make the world feel more real, until it doesn't. When the Forest released in early access, there were a wild number of bugs and even features that would pull you out of the game either by breaking it or just looking goofy. Now with Sons of the Forest, we can see that this trend continues. While not as bad or frequent, bugs still pop up decently often. Ew! With all the new additions that haven't been tested on such a large scale, it makes sense that bugs would arise, but that doesn't make them any less annoying. I experienced a bug when I went into a certain location. I won't go into specifics as I'm avoiding spoilers for now, where I saved. I left that location only to be immediately swarmed and bodied, causing me to have to reload. Only now, when exiting that location, I found that the season had been reverted all the way from winter back to summer, and my world had been reset back to day one. I'd been alternating between save slots in case of things like this, but if I hadn't been, I would have essentially had to restart. The gameplay in Sons of the Forest can be fi or mid, depending on where you are and what you're doing, or even the way you're doing it. With Site 2's map being much larger than Sahara's island, you will be running around a lot. Like a vast portion of your time will be spent just navigating and exploring the island, which is more fun when you stumble upon sites of interest, but it does become annoying once you already know a certain space and have to keep going back and forth. Then, the design of certain caves is weird. I had to go into a cave to get a story item, but I couldn't leave. When you enter the last sections of the cave, you prevent yourself from leaving the same way that you came in. Then, when getting the item, a new way to exit appears, but you need a craftable item to use it, and since I had already used the item, I now didn't have what I needed to leave. So I ended up having to let myself get jumped in order to go back to the cave entrance, which meant my one free death was gone, and now dying would mean reloading or losing, which kinda sucked. On the other hand, the new base building is a lot of fun. Some people are complaining that there's no reason to build a base because you can just live off tents, which is true, but you suffer the consequences for choosing to do so. Without a proper base, you can't store anything more than what you can carry, you're always exposed and unsafe, and you have nowhere to bring the baddies. And it's not like you had to build a base in the forest. Hell, I could beat the entire game in like 90 minutes if I wanted to. But a major part of the fun and survival aspect of the game comes from creating a proper base and making it your own. Another quick point to touch on is the graphics. The graphics of the forest are solid. But this is Sons of the Forest, so the graphics are absolutely nutty. I don't know who or what In-Night sacrificed to make this game look so good, but wow. At any given moment, just looking around can provide a beautiful visual. And it doesn't even seem to be that costly in terms of performance. I know plenty of people are experiencing issues, and I had plenty of frame drops and never really got over 70 FPS, but I tried to keep my visuals on higher settings, and I'm not even running a beastly PC. I mean, my CPU only sneaks into minimum spec. As a whole, the bugs do often detract from gameplay, but interaction with the environment, including both the new AI behavior and the actual world, is very cool. Now the story. Again, this is going to have spoilers, so if you don't want the game spoiled, just skip this section. The opening really gets things off on the right foot. With nothing more than a glance outside your helicopter window, then back at your laptop screen, you can piece together why you're here. Then all hell breaks loose. In classic The Forest fashion, your vehicle crashes, leaving you stranded, disoriented, and separated from others. Then some rando who seems to be the cause of our crash TPs in front of you and clobbers your cranium. All in the span of a few minutes, we've established why we're here, that we've crashed, and a non-friendly yet important and prominent character. Or not. In the first game, a little casual reading here or there would make you aware of Cross and help you piece together what took place long before and briefly after your arrival. But in Sons of the Forest, this doesn't seem to be the case. I haven't explored every centimeter of the map, but whenever I saw an email I would pick it up and read it. Yet I still have literally no idea what this guy's name is, or why he's here. There are moments where he pops up throughout the game, sometimes in cutscenes and sometimes in the more subtle in-game way, similar to how Cross would be spotted on the yacht in the forest, but these never gave me any more information about him. I feel most of these moments just confuse me more. Maybe I'm missing something, or maybe I'm just not connecting obvious dots, but regardless, I don't know what I'm supposed to gather with this guy. Then after the grand return of Eric and Timmy, where Eric is shot and they disappear, we reach the end. What is this? I won't lie and say it wasn't interesting, but what's happening? Why is the world glitching? We saw the weird cloning thing taking place to others on the camera monitors in the security office, but why now with Timmy? Is this an extension of his curse? Is it affecting everyone in the spot? I mean, we see the main character shaking and then Virginia falls into our arms, which scared me for a second. I mean, with the music, it seems like she was dead or something. During this, we also turn around and see that the rando is a blob, which again is interesting and cool, but I feel like I should have seen clues as to this happening. Then you're back outside the cave and can decide whether or not you want to stay or hop onto the helicopter, allowing the game to escape. Virginia even rests her head on your shoulder, which is nice. Overall, I feel the story is somewhat barren, but full of potential with what we can find around the island and what the beginning sets up. And I want to again state that this is my opinion when treating the game as I would a full release, when we all know that this is early access, and that if I compared this to the Forest second day of early access release, it would be impossible to call Sons of the Forest worse. I'm very excited to see how they add to the gameplay, fix performance, and build upon the lore. And I am in this moment considering Sons of the Forest a well-made survival horror title. On a real note though, I'm gonna need to see that stewardess dress come back because that was the most fly fit in the entirety of the first game.